You can follow my green arrow here. Here's my setup for YouTube, for Zoom, and all broadcasting, which is done right from my home studio. Here I have the Logitech C930E, which is the latest one. And here I have simple $20 light stands I got from Walmart with frosted glass so that it really diffuses the light. We got like I think it's 60 watts, 300 kelvins. 300 kelvins is the temperature that you need to look for because that has the most pleasing appearance. Because if you use 5000 daylight, it is too bright and it's irritating to the eyes. Then here I have a Shure SM58 microphone hooked up. Here I have a condenser microphone, which I'm going to talk about. I used to use the Focusrite. I don't use it anymore, but I'm going to be using my Mackie 10FX V3, which I'm going to expand on in a minute. And here is a picture of that one. And along with that, I have some headphones and a connection to an iPad for an external music. As you'll see, there are challenges in trying to play computer music and record it at the same time from the same computer. So let us look at each one of these segments separately. And here is this corner, which has this Mackie. And as you can see, my condenser microphone is connected by an XLR into line 2 here. And here I have SM58 microphone connected. And here are my monitor speakers, KRK, 5, Rocket, and of course the lights here. There are several things which are very important buttons here, which I'm going to be emphasizing. But for example, this is the volume control. But most of the time, I think this does not play a significant role with this mixer. The main important thing is the gain control is the volume that is going to the output lines, like the monitor speakers and the main speakers. So that's an important thing that we need to keep in mind. And when we are bringing a line input, and this is a line input which is going into a 1/4 inch, and this has like a lightning connection at the other end, which I will show you, that goes into my iPad for playing background music or for using for karaoke tracks if you're having a karaoke session on Zoom. And these are the two lines going to the monitor speakers, like the left and the right. And here I have the headphones, and we'll talk about that as we go along. And here I have some 1/8 to 1/4 inch converters because you're always looking for it. So I put this in this well so that it will be always available to me. Now this is my backdrop. As you can see here in the picture, I have a beautiful globe in my background, and this is a backdrop which is very unique. And what I have is a 8-foot by 8-foot frame, and to that I have clipped these backdrops which you can buy from Amazon for like $40. You can get any kind of backdrop you like. In fact, I have a brick one on the other side. It looks like a brick wall from the other side. So what I have done is I have divided the room into 2 parts. So this is my studio, and the other side is the living room. And here I bought some like cheap $15 lights, maybe $12 from Walmart, and put on some little different lights. And I have to go back here. I don't know if I can see it here. I'll show you later on. I have a little control that can change the color of these lights. Oh, here's the control. Okay, this is the control which can give red, orange, yellow, green, whatever color we like. And then I can change the mood. In fact, I can change the mood right now. I think the lights are green. I don't think you can see yes, you can see the lights are green. Let me change it to red. See, now I changed the background color to red, or it says red here. And of course we can go to like yellow. That's the yellow. That's the yellow, but I think I like the red one, and get contrasting. Okay, you see, minute things make a difference. You can put a little, most people have plants. You can put a plant or something else. Here's a little piano chair I have, which I can use to put some things. And those are the couple of books which I have written. Let's move on. And now we are going into this is the sound effects section. This part of is the sound effects. Let's spend a couple of minutes on this one. It has several different sound effects. You just have to put on your headphones and or listen to the sound that you're trying to get. If you're like doing a music, like singing, then you use a reverb and delay, which is number 12 or 14 here. 14 has echo. You dial the number, whatever number you like, and press this button that will set it to that one. I usually use number 12, which is delay and reverb. And if you press this button, it will mute the sound effects. These sound effects are going to be affected in these yellow knobs, which I'm going to explain in a minute how to use those knobs. There's another one which is the FX sound, which controls how much of sound is going through the system. So here the effects are turned off right now. If I turn on the effects, you can see, if I turn on the effects, it is going to make a difference because right now it is set to 12, like so right now I've turned off the effects because I don't want the echo to be coming into the line. And this is the line input from iPad or any source of music. And also there are some low cut filters, which I think is worthwhile doing that on all these lines, whether they are microphone or input lines. And this is the gain I was talking about. The gain, when we turn this gain up, it says how much of this sound is going to the speakers. And that's the sound that is going to be recorded also. So if the recording volume is low, which is a very common complaint, we need to increase the gain up to a point where you can hear the recorded sound. It goes from minus 20 decibels to, I think, plus 60 decibels. So whatever the amount it takes, sometimes we may have to go all the way up to like 60 decibels to get an adequate volume to record. But if we are using a OBS recording, then you can also boost the sound in OBS recording by using sound settings. Let's move on to the microphone. Microphone is one of the most important things that we need to be investing in. The microphone I have here is it is a Sterling microphone, which I got, can you believe me, more than 10 or 15 years ago. I paid like $200. And this mic, I'm recording through this mic. As you can see, I don't have any headphones. I don't have any microphone in front of me. But you can see what a difference it makes. I could be 8 to 10 inches from the microphone. And this is the same kind of microphone used in music recording studios. So if you get a microphone like this, you don't have to have a microphone kind of stuck to your neck or the face all day when you're talking into the microphone. So invest a good amount of money because that will last you for 10, 15 years. And that is going into one of these lines here. This is an XLR line. And now here is the connection which I was talking to. This is a line. The music from the YouTube or any background music, I can just play it here going all the way into another line, and this is a line input, so you have no control over the volume that you hear. What you hear and what you record are two different things. So what you hear is what is coming through this one, and you control that by controlling the volume in your iPad or iPhone. So please remember that. That's a very important point. By increasing the gain, you're not going to hear it louder because it is coming through the lines volume settings set in your iPhone, iPad, or another computer or whatever device you use. Because I'm using an iPad, I have to get a Thunderbolt it comes as a 1/4 inch or a 1/8 inch, but this short one happened to be 1/8, so I had to convert it into 1/4 inch and put it in the right or the red channel so that it will be going in as a audio source. Next, headphones. Of course, this is a little cheap $10 headphone I have here, which does work for most purposes for which I need. But if I'm like doing a karaoke or a small music recording, then I'm going to use the professional style headphones, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And these headphones are connected here. And I think there must be a better picture. And this is a headphone I use when I am using music recording. Like if I am recording into Smule, I use these Sennheiser HD 280 Pro headphones. The important thing is I don't know, it doesn't matter what kind of headphones you buy, but if you get a Bose headphones, the quality of sound is so good, it will pick up the low frequencies and the high frequencies, and it will be 10 to 20 times better than that little cheap one I showed you, which is $10 one. But it all depends on, your budget. But this is $100, so I think you should invest in your microphone and your headphone, because if you're spending money on any audio system, this is your hobby. All hobbies are eating money, so forget about it. You just invest money because the headphone can last you for 10-15 years. The most important thing is the quality of the sound it picks up, and the second is the cup has to be large enough to fit on your temple bones, not on your earlobes. If it sits on your earlobes and it is pressing for an hour or 2 hours, you're going to get ear pain and headache. So get something that is comfortable, with which you can sleep. And this is a real good one. And also remember, this is a rubber one, because when you are using a condenser microphone like I have here, it picks up freaking anything that is going on in the studio. If I scratch my hair, it will pick up the sound. So if you got a real hard cord that is connecting to the headphone, and every time the headphone moves, it's going to make an extra noise. So it has to be something like a rubber one, which will help you to minimize the extraneous sounds. And next, we're going to come to Zoom. I made a separate video on audio settings for music in Zoom. And please watch that video. There I talk about all the different audio settings in Zoom and also audio settings in OBS. And talking about audio settings in OBS, I have made a separate video on how to maximize sound quality and volume in your OBS. And please watch that video, because they are all different topics and it's too much to cover in one presentation. And the important thing is the Zoom settings I have explained in a separate video. Watch that one, and that will help you to get an understanding. And of course, here are the headphone connections going into the headphones. Control room is where the sound is going into my monitor speakers or into the main speakers. This is a mute button I was talking about for the FX control. And let's get back to this FX. FX is something which is at like a 0, and you listen to the headphones, you set your delay and reverb number 12 and press the button. You're ready to go. Next thing we want to do is turn it all the way to 0 and then do sounds like. If you get more than 2 or 3, that means it is repetitious and you want to reduce this number. It is at 7 o'clock, you start off at 7 o'clock, go to 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and see how many echoes you are getting. That's how you determine how to set these sound effects. And also you need to sing like a few lines of your song. Then you get the feeling, how much of this is being, replicated in your lines. The best thing is record that on OBS or Audacity and see how much sound effect is making a difference in the voice. If it's not making a significant difference, you may want to increase this, and it is by trial and error you find out. And an important thing is mute button. A lot of these mixers don't have mute buttons, but the beauty is this one has mute button. Right now my mute button is turned off on line 2, because this line 2 with the condenser microphone is recording this presentation. Line 1 is muted, and this is an important feature. Otherwise, you have to kind of turn the microphone off some other way. And the Yamaha doesn't have the mute button, I think. So just keep these minute things in mind when you're selecting a mixer, because a mixer can last you for 15 years. So once you get it, you want to learn everything about this mixer, and these are like EQs for high frequency, mid frequency, and low frequency. There are some people who, reduce the low frequency, and there are some people who want to sound like radio voice or hello, this is all in your radio, and then you can increase the low frequency voice. You can play with all this little stuff, whatever you like. And there's another button here which controls the amount of input coming from the mixer and also from the computer. I have never tried it. I tried it. I didn't make much difference for me. And here are the headphones where you can increase the volume of the sound that you're hearing in your headphones. This is independent of what is going to the speakers and to the recording software. So keep that in mind. The recording software audio output is controlled by this gain, and the headphones control the amplification of the sound in the headphones. And this is the meter which shows when you're speaking into the meter, it will show the deflection, and you want to get it maybe close to 2.0, and you should not go more than 2 yellow bars. If you're hitting red, that means it is going to be clipped and your audio is going to be distorted. This is the main volume of the system, which will so this is the main volume which increases the volume of what we hear, and what is going to the recording or the output line is all controlled by this one, gain. I don't know why, that's how it is set up in this particular mixer. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a very quick overview of how to set up your Mackie ProFX 10 mixer for YouTube, Zoom, and OBS. This presentation covers how you set up for all these basic settings. Then you have to have separate settings for YouTube. You have to have a separate settings for Zoom in Zoom, and separate setting for audio input in OBS. I have 2 separate videos, one on Zoom and one on OBS. Please do watch them. And thank you so much for watching this presentation. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will see you in the next presentation.